I realize I have a nagging belief that getting older equals decline. It's annoying me, putting the brake on my flow and alignment. Right. Okay. This old thing again.
Well, it's interesting because
how quickly can we get to the belief that's underneath that?
well, I feel like the decline part, I thought that was a belief.
Okay, so let's
Yeah,
really get
like
it in your language.
Yeah, because I was like, what is there's something that keeps coming up constantly. And I'm noticing that, it's based on this belief that getting older equals decline.
Okay.
And I don't want to believe that. Consciously, but I get that that's not true.
0 to 10, how much are you believing it right now?
7.
Okay. Is there anything else that goes along with it that's a bigger idea? Or is
Maybe not enough.
That you're not enough?
Maybe, yeah. Because I'm thinking decline and.
So getting older means decline. What does decline mean to you? Just give me a rough idea.
Decline of everything. Decline of health, looks, fun. Yeah, those 3 things I'm noticing.
All right. So even though I'm believing right now today. That getting older, which I'm doing. Means decline.
See, I didn't even like that.
Huh?
I noticed I didn't even like that part.
Yeah.
So weird.
So even though I believe I'm getting older. I'm choosing to reevaluate that whole idea. Even though I am believing that I'm getting older. Choosing here and now to reevaluate that whole idea.
Okay.
What?
I mean, I feel like that's true, though.
I know you do. Even though I think it's true that I'm getting older.
I just don't want it to mean a bad thing. I want it to mean decline.
I love and accept myself completely.
I'm just.
You think she would just trust me by now?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just no, I don't know if that's the right thing, but okay.
I think I'm getting older.
I think I'm getting older.
Yes, I think I'm getting older.
Yes,
I'm definitely getting older.
And
then I have one of those birthdays coming up.
On the
chin. And I'm thinking about all the ways that life is maybe going to change.
And I'm thinking of all the ways that life is maybe going to change.
Mm-hmm. Or how I'm going to change. That my health is going to decline. That my looks are going to decline. That I won't even be able to have as much fun as I'm used to. That it's just dialing down of all things good.
Ooh, good one. That is just a dialing down of all things good. Yes.
It feels like the big volume switch is being turned down for me. Huh. Or the big life switch. And I'm getting older, so everything is just declining.
I'm getting older, so it just seems like everything's declining.
That sounds so sad. Like everything's declining, and it's really sad.
What? Wait, what did you say?
I said, I'm getting older, and it just seems like everything's declining, and it's really sad.
I'm getting older, and it feels like everything's declining, and it's really sad.
Because I'm not looking at this as a spiritual being.
Because I'm not looking at this like a spiritual being.
Stop ahead. My spiritual... Well, I can't even honestly say...
I can't even honestly say
eyebrows, that I am getting older.
that I am getting older.
I say, I am timeless.
I am timeless.
I'm an eternal, timeless being.
I'm an eternal, timeless being.
Under the nose, I'm an eternal, timeless being.
I'm an eternal, timeless being.
And I'm occupying this body for as long as I'm occupying this body.
And I'm occupying this body for as long as I'm occupying this body.
So I am getting older.
So I am getting older.
Under the arm is a lie on its face.
Is a lie on its face.
Not that my body is apparently aging.
My body is apparently aging.
Eyebrows. I live in a culture where all we know is bodies age and die.
I live in a culture where all we know is that bodies age and die.
But I'm not my body.
But I'm not my body.
Under the eyes, I'm not my body.
I'm not my body.
Under the nose, I'm not my body.
I'm not my body.
I'm not my body.
I'm not my body.
I'm an eternal being in a body.
I'm an eternal being in a body.
Under the arm, and everything means what I make it mean.
And everything means what I make it mean.
I'm an eternal being in a body.
I'm an eternal being in a body.
And everything means what I make it mean.
And everything means what I make it mean.
And I can still create my reality going forward.
And I can still create my reality going forward.
I'm in charge of my reality from this moment on.
I'm in charge of my reality from this moment on.
Under the nose. Epigenetics says it's not genes that are the most important thing.
Epigenetics says it's not genes that's the most important thing.
Epigenetics says it's our belief.
Epigenetics said it's our belief.
Hold on. Even though I see what I see in the world.
Even though I see what I see in the world.
There are some people who are talking about youthing.
There are some people who are talking about youthing.
Top of the head. Some people are not buying into aging as a concept.
Some people are not buying into aging as a concept.
I can set an intention for reality.
I can set an intention for reality.
It's for a body that's in better shape than it's ever been in.
For a body that's in the best shape that it's ever been.
And yeah, there are 3 billion cells or something that make up this body.
There are 3 billion cells
that make up this body.
That make up this body.
And every single one of them responds to what I tell it.
And every single one of them responds to what I tell it. That's why I'm like, this nagging belief.
When I'm saying I'm aging, my body's like, hell yeah.
When I say that I never say that I'm aging though.
when I'm afraid of getting older.
When I'm afraid of getting older and
then my body's in fear also.
Then my body's in fear also.
When I set an intention to be strong and healthy.
When I set an intention to be strong and healthy.
For as long as I occupy this body.
For as long as I occupy this body.
That's something I could think about.
That's something that I can think about.
Yes. I'm not my body.
I'm not my body.
And yet I'm occupying this body.
And yet I'm occupying this body.
And this body responds to everything I think and say and feel.
Yes. This body responds to everything I think, say, and feel.
This body responds to everything I think, say, and feel.
This body responds to everything that I think, say, and feel.
So maybe I'll be a little more careful.
I know.
You can take yourself off the screen now. I'm kidding. Okay.
Oh gosh.
All right. So obviously that was a moment for me to just throw in some ideas that most of us aren't thinking and talking about, but we talk in spiritual workout world all the time, creating our own reality, making things up, making things mean what we make them mean. So the thing is, if you're steeped in the fear and what's happening and the declination and all that, then that's all that's going to come to you.
Right. And that's why I was saying it's nagging. It's annoying me because I know this stuff. I know that my cells are responding to whatever it is that I'm thinking, whatever's I'm vibrating or holding, right? Like I know this, and I could feel it. You know what I'm saying?
what Christina
I
wrote.
know, you guys are so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's really
How
true.
precious, no.
And look, this is where I draw a bit of a line. Like, I'm not a healthcare practitioner. I'm a mental health care practitioner, perhaps. I just know that what we believe matters. And if we believe we're aging and life is going in decline,
Right.
that's
That's
true.
where I want to transmute that belief, because I realized it. I was like, wait, what's nagging me? Like, the break, right? I was feeling the break.
Yeah.
And then I came to that belief of like, oh, the older I get, decline equals decline, because everything was pointing to that. And I was like, I don't want to fucking believe this shit. Like, I know that this is not the ultimate truth,
Yeah.
but it's still. So here's one thing that came up.
Well, it's exactly like what Jen was talking about.
Yeah,
learning
right.
the old ways really, 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 really well.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Oh, your way. All right.
Right. Exactly. But one thing that was interesting when we were doing the tapping was when you reminded me of the eternal being, in this body. And that was a great boost. Like, I felt a shift there because it made me feel like powerful and more empowered, almost like a comic book hero kind of thing, like a superhero, like, oh, more so than just the body. But then there was this other part of me, or this other energy that I felt, this feeling of, well, I'm attached to my body. I really want my body to be.
There's a difference between loving.
On some spirit, like, I want my body to be in a good shape.
Well, that's fine. There's a difference between loving your body and being attached to your body. There's a difference between loving anything and being attached to it. So, yeah, anti-aging. So I don't even like the word anti. So anti-aging is you thing. So let's think about
And,
so look, Delilah, we get to use a new card tonight.
Yes. There you go.
But it's really true, you guys. We're talking all the time about creating realities. That's what we talked about in the warm-up. That's what intentions are all about. But guess what? We're doing the same thing with our physical bodies and our physical health. So setting an intention for your physical health is probably a really good idea, right?
I have them.
Like Delilah's talking about, she sort of knows that she can have different experiences, but all these old ideas and old thoughts, so is that a new conversation that we have old and that we have new? No. So before we were talking about it with money, now we're talking about it with physical health, but it matters what we believe about it. So again, we're not here to tell anybody what they should believe, but if we believe one set of beliefs and then we hear something else that's different, well, now right off the bat, we are in a choice moment. Mm-hmm. What am I going to choose to believe? That I'm aging or I'm youthing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it means to youth. Well, who the hell does? They've only been talking about it for about 3 minutes, but there are people talking about it. It's a thing, right?
Right.
So what am I going to do? What am I inspired? What am I inspired to do? What am I going to search for next online?
Right. Making those choices. Yeah. And I was making them for the most part.
Yeah.
In alignment with those intentions. It was just noticing that, well, there's a little break action going on here. And I realized, I was like, oh my God, I think I actually like hold that belief. Like, everything points to that. And so this was a good.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. I really am, because it hasn't come up a lot and everybody's thinking about it all day, every day.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's got a milestone birthday coming up, or that they just passed, or they're going to have, or whatever.
Or whatever generation that's being talked about and how that, yeah.
So again, this ties into the whole idea of 3D and 5D. 3D, we're married to time. And in 5D, we're not. And so when we're living in bodies on a 3D, in a 3D dimension with a 5D consciousness, we only use time as a tool. I'll see you at Spiritual Workout Mondays at 5 Pacific time. Fantastic. I'm X years old. Really? What does that even mean? What does it mean? It means something to you, so ask yourself what it means when you say your age. I got in big trouble, not really trouble, but I was at a dinner party.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there were a dozen, 14 people, that awkward number of people at a table where everybody's sort of having one conversation. Awkward to me. And I didn't know most of the people, and they didn't know me. And don't ask me why, but somebody needed to go around the table and ask how old everybody was. And, you know, I have an answer for that I think about and talk about all the time. If my body is listening to every thought I'm having about it and everything I'm saying about it and everything I'm doing to it or whatever, well, this body's 28, as far as I'm concerned, right? So we go around the table and I say I'm 28 and people start laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing? Think I'm not 28? What are you telling me? Right? So apparently I didn't look 28.
You really don't care what other people think.
But what the hell, man? Like, I am not going to keep telling my body that I'm aging and getting old and things are declining. I'm not personally interested in that. So while I'm having the conversation, what do you mean I'm not 28? I'm just saying to myself, I'm 28, I'm 28, I'm 28, I'm 28, I'm 28, I'm 28. That's what we are 28, which is usually what I say. And it was really interesting to do something to try to hold that consciousness, which I'm always telling everybody to do, to hold that 5D consciousness in that 3D environment where people were just wanting to ridicule me and getting more pissed off by the moment that I just went, who the hell is this guy? Why won't he just say his age? We're all telling our age.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's, so I did not ever tell my supposed age. It no longer means anything to me. But I live in a culture where it means something to everybody, and I understand that. I'm not here to be an ultra hyper weirdo or anything, but I do believe that my body listens to everything I tell it. So I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. That's
you know, what did I say to that? I think I answered that.
the group.
Yeah, I mean, they really, I mean, look, it was a friendly dinner party. Nobody's having a war or anything like that. But it was very interesting to see
no, it brings up a lot for
the
people.
resistance that people had to, you know, and the judgment of like, oh, he's not dealing with reality or he's in denial.
Right.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
Well, it was. And it's like, all right, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's definitely a topic that brings up a lot for people.
Yeah. So think about what you're thinking about your body. Think about what you're saying to your body. Think about what you're saying about your body. Think about what you're saying about your physical health. Think about what you're thinking about physical health in general and who gets it and who doesn't and how does it happen. And think about what you think about when your friends and relations are coming down with this, that, and the other thing. I mean, it's, you know.
That's a good, that's what I noticed too. Yeah. Well, I think one other thing that comes up is like, you know, we're talking about epigenetics and obviously creating your reality and how you can create your own health reality, right? A part of me starts perhaps judging myself in that I start thinking that, oh, is this ego? Am I trying to rationalize this essential like resistance to getting older with epigenetics? You see what I mean? Like, or seeing it as a thing?
You have to ask yourself, you're the arbiter. Is that resistance and is that denial? Like for me, it's not, I'm not resisting anything so much as I'm embracing something else. That's what we talk about here all the time. It's not about, you know, we want that dump page when we're setting intentions. We want to know what is that material that has our foot on the brake. It's not about denying any of that. It's just, what do we want? if we want to feel strong and healthy. So the issue that you came in with was everything's declining. I'm not going to have as much fun. I'm not going to look as good. I'm not going to and my It's like, well, is that really true? Like, do you know
Right.
that fact? And yeah, so.
Right. Yep. Well, thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.